Dawn at the retail park. The herd has been gathering since 5 in the morning. Nothing here is on fire. And yet they run. Inside the glass building, every surface carries the same message: 40% off. The herd does not ask, off what? The herd has never asked. Asking would slow the running. The species Homo spendens, the consuming human. Today it believes it is about to make money by spending it. This is the sale. The habitat's oldest trap and its most beloved. It is not an event, it is a season. To understand the season, begin with one small number printed above another, wearing a line through it like a sash. The crossed-out number has a job. Its job is not to be paid. Its job is to be believed. Within the hour, one specimen here will buy a jacket it did not want and feel richer for it. We will observe it closely. But first, the line through the number. Where did it come from? In the 1970s, two scientists, Tversky and Kahneman, found that the first number a human sees becomes its truth. Every number after the first is measured against it. The first number does not need to be relevant or real. Scientists call this anchoring. The shop calls it the was price. The anglerfish calls it the little light. The coat says, was 200, now 100. The brain files 200 as the coat's true worth. 100 now feels like winning, even when 100 is simply what the coat costs. Everywhere, always. Even numbers openly drawn at random shift what specimens will pay. The anchor does not need believing, only seeing. The fish that swim toward the light are not stupid. They are wired. The consumer is also wired. It swims toward the crossed-out number with its card already out of its pocket. Flash photography would be unkind. Repeat the trick for long enough and something curious happens. The full price stops feeling real even to the shop. The discount becomes permanent. The lie becomes load-bearing. Nobody anywhere remembers what the coat actually costs. Which leaves the question the herd never asks at dawn. Was the coat ever $200 at all? Researchers once followed prices at 25 large shops for 33 weeks. They wanted to see the sales end. At 8 of the shops, more than half the items sat at a so-called discount nearly every single week. A discount is by definition temporary. These discounts had not read the definition. At one shoe chain, Foot Locker, items were on sale 98% of the time. Practically a hobby. A sale that never ends is not a sale. It is a price in a costume. Some shops simply invented the original number. Courts have been consulted about this more than once. One chain, Kohl's, paid $6 million to settle claims that its original prices were, in fact, original fiction. Lawyers found 9,000 of its products were on sale at least 46 days out of every 90. Penny's, Sears, and Macy's were sued over the same trick. The city of Los Angeles did the suing. None of it thinned the dawn gatherings. The herd does not read court filings. The herd reads red tags. But in 2012, one shop tried an experiment no shop had dared before. It told the consumer the truth. J.C. Penney appointed a new leader, Ron Johnson, who found the fake numbers embarrassing. He proposed honesty. He called it fair and square, one real price, every day. No coupons, no games, no lines through numbers. He cut the shop's promotions from $590 a year to $12. Then he waited for the gratitude. The herd's response was immediate. It stopped coming. Sales fell by roughly a fifth. Billions of dollars left the building, and millions of customers left behind them. The goods were the same, the prices were honest, and the consumer standing among them felt absolutely nothing. A purchase that feels like nothing is, to this species, indistinguishable from a loss. The shop had made its prices honest and shopping joyless. In this habitat, the two are close relatives, because the receipt carries a line at the bottom. You saved. And to Homo spendens, that line is a score. The game was never about paying less. The game was about winning. Honesty had removed the scoreboard. Within a year, the lies were reinstated. The coupons returned, the crossed-out numbers returned, and so did the herd. Johnson was removed. In this habitat, honesty is many things. Career enhancing is not among them. Every November, the season reaches its peak. Black Friday. The herd crosses car parks the way wildebeest cross rivers. The wildebeest at least gets grass. What the consumer gets has now been measured by researchers with clipboards. A British watchdog tracked 175 products for 6 months, either side of the Great Migration. Roughly 8 in 10 so-called deals were the same price or cheaper at quieter moments of the year. At one department store, John Lewis, it was 94%. At Amazon, 88%. The pattern held everywhere. And on Black Friday itself, the loudest day of the season, the number of year's best prices was 0. The best day to buy the television, statistically, is an unremarkable Tuesday when nobody else wants it. The television is identical on both days, only the queue is different. The consumer, it seems, queues for the queue. No specimen has ever camped outside a shop for an unremarkable Tuesday. There is nothing there to win. The migration is not a hunt for low prices. It is a festival at which prices dress up as low. And when the calendar cannot supply the panic, the habitat has learned to manufacture it. Observe the clocks. On the consumer's screens, the sale has learned to tick. A countdown in red, this price dies at midnight. Researchers crawled 11,000 shopping websites and found over 150 of these clocks were simply lying. On one site, the offer survived its own countdown. The clock struck 0, shrugged, and started again. The clock was never measuring time. It is there to measure the consumer's pulse. Beside the clock, a small red message, only 3 left. The retail habitat's version of a distress call. The message never says 3 of what? 3 in the shop? 3 in the country? The herd has already clicked. Whether 3 is true, nobody can check. But nothing moves a herd like a rival reaching for the same branch. In studies, the ticking clock and the vanishing stock reliably made specimens buy. The limited-time message worked best of all. Older specimens, the data shows, fall hardest. The panic, after all, is genuinely ancient. On the savannah, missing the fruit meant hunger. Here, it means paying full price for a blender in March. The fear is 200,000 years old. The shortage was invented that morning. So why does winning feel good? An economist, Richard Thaler, gave the feeling a name: transaction utility. The pleasure of the deal itself. Not the coat, not the blender, the gap between the price paid and the crossed-out number. The gap is delicious, which means a shop can manufacture joy without improving anything it sells. It only has to redecorate the tag. In one study, a $10 grocery coupon did not make shoppers spend $10 less. They spent more. The extra spending went on items the specimen never normally buys. The saving released into the wild went hunting. The receipt calls this a saving. The bank statement, consulted at the end of the month, files it differently. This is why the herd leaves a sale carrying more, not less. Each bargain funds the confidence for the next. One specimen reports it has saved $80. It is carrying $240 of jacket. In the wild, saving means the acorn stays buried. Here, it means the acorn was spent at a discount. The deal, in short, is not arithmetic. It is a mood, and the mood is available at every price point. It can even be triggered by a single digit, the most profitable digit ever discovered, the 9. Observe the tag $9.99. The consumer reads it from the left and stops early. The brain files the first digit and moves on. $9.99 is recorded within milliseconds as 9-ish. This happens faster than thought. The consumer can no more out-reason it than it can out-reason a sneeze. Researchers once offered the same dress at $34, $39, and $44. to see which number lured best. The $39 dress won. It outsold the identical dress priced at $34. The same dress, $5 cheaper, sold worse. The 9 was not lowering the price, it was lowering the guard. The 9 is not arithmetic, it is plumage. Shops have known this for a century. It is why the habitat contains almost no round numbers at all. One structure remains. It stands far from the city, and the herd drives an hour to drink there. The outlet mall. A distant watering hole where the great brands are said to shed their prices in shame. The consumer believes it is buying the $200 coat for $60. The habitat has made other arrangements. By some estimates, 85% of outlet stock was made for the outlet. It never saw the real shop. Coach, Banana Republic, and J. Crew have all confirmed it. Separate goods, made cheaper, sent straight to the far water. Thinner fabric, fewer buttons, less stitching. The coat is not the coat, it is a tribute act. The stitching is not lying exactly, it is answering a question nobody asked. How little coat is still a coat? The tag says, compare at $200. Compared with what? That price was never charged for this coat. Anywhere. Members of Congress asked regulators to investigate. The herd, unbothered, kept driving the hour. The investigation, like the coat, was mostly symbolic. This is the season perfected, a discount off a price that never existed, on a coat built to be discounted. It drives home content. In the boot, 5 bags of proof that mathematics is no match for a red sign. What, then, is a sale? Observed honestly, not a lower price, a story about a higher one. The crossed-out number, the ticking clock, the 3 left, the 9, each whispers the same thing. It nearly paid more. The specimens that thrive are not the ones that never shop. They are the ones that ask, off what? They check what it cost in May. They wait for the dull Tuesday. They let the clock reach 0 and watch. Homo Spendens. It queued in the dark for a story about a number. If the specimen seems familiar, it should. It will be fine, probably. The jacket, at least, was definitely 40% off something. Next, the token. The consumer does tricks for points it can barely spend. Its airline has quietly become a bank.